Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
Hello everyone. Today we are going to start a new chapter in civics or political science. Book is named as Political Science or Civics, hardly matters. Unit 3. We are going to start today Unit 3, Rule of Law and Social Justice. So here we have to focus on that. What it says that rule of law, which means that the law of the land. What we can use the another term for this? Law of the land. Certainly it is in the context of our country. So we are going to discuss law, rules about our country, how our country is governed. Then this rule of law is basically based in this unit about the social justice. Social justice. Little bit going back to the history of our country, where society was divided on the basis of the caste system. So what does this caste system means? That society was divided on the basis of the casteism. Brahmins considered themselves as the higher class, followed by Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. Shudras were the lowest class, were supposed to do all the menial jobs. In the later part of the chapter, we will have to discuss about a new terminology which is untouchability. What are the special provisions done in the constitution for them? That also we will have to discuss in detail. So this is about the social justice, the justice for the society as a whole without any discrimination. So today we are going to start with this chapter 15, the constitution, its rule and need of laws. So what is this term constitution? What is the need of the laws? Why it is required? What is the use of these laws? Why the constitution has been prepared? So coming to this, the important questions or the important things about the constitution. This is the original constitution which is kept in our parliament. Most important thing is coming now is about the constitution. What is constitution? A constitution is a book of rules and principles. Simply we can say that law, through which the country governs, the country runs. So a simple statement is written over here. A constitution is a book of rules and principles which helps to run a country. The constitution also deals with the composition of the government. Composition of the government with a detailed explanation of its different organs. What it says that? The different organs. Legislature, executive and the judiciary. Legislature, it is a law-making body of our country. Executive, it is the body after that when the law making is been done, execution work is done by the executive. Execution of the laws done by the executive. Then the third most important organ is known as the judiciary. The judicial system of our country is completely different. It is an independent organ of the government. And its duty is to take care of both these organs of the government, legislature and executive. So this constitution, what it is written over here, it is regarded as the fundamental law of a country. Means that what it? Constitution is regarded as a fundamental law, the basic laws, the basic rules of a country is written inside the constitution, and accordingly the government runs the country, governs the country. Then a question arises about that, how this constitution was framed. Who were behind it? Who has drafted or written the constitution? So we are coming to discuss about this Constituent Assembly. When our country was about to get its independence, the some of the eminent leaders of our country, who they were actually the members of the provincial legislative assemblies. You are learning in this your history also as well. This chapter is there. So this Constituent Assembly was formed on 9 December 1946. And there were 299 members were there who they were elected by the people indirectly. Direct elections were not held. Indirect elections were there, and these members were elected to draft the constitution for our country. Then next it comes about that the republic is governed in terms of the Constitution of India. The republic is governed. Republic means India is governed in terms of the constitution, which was adopted by the Constituent Assembly on 26 November 1949. So this Constituent Assembly was formed on 9 December 1946, and the complete constitution was ready to implement by 26 November 1949. So how long time it took to prepare the constitution? It took 2 years, 11 months and 18 days. So we can say that about 3 years also. So this constitution was ready to implement by the 26th November 1949, and finally it came into force on 26th January 1950. And every year this 26th January is being celebrated as Republic Day. So this is the significance of the 26th January 1950. Most important personality of the Constituent Assembly, or whenever we are talking and discussing about that the constitution, this name and the name of this personality reflects in our mind. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was the chairperson of the committee, drafting committee. Drafting committee was the one of the most important part of the Constituent Assembly, and he was elected as the chairperson of the drafting committee. He is also called as the architect of the Indian Constitution. Indian Constitution is one of the lengthiest. This is the special feature of our country. Lengthiest, or the another word what we can use it is that the bulkiest. This is bulkiest constitution in the world. It is referred to as a living document. Living document means what? Whenever we want, we can bring change in the constitution, in the laws, in the rules, as per the requirement, which is based on the development, need and requirement of the citizens. So these constitution makers, they have made a provision of constitutional amendment. What it is known as amendment, which means that change. So whenever it is required, we can bring change in the constitution. So it is also known as a living document. Coming to the next topic is about the importance and role of the constitution in a democracy. Constitution and democracy. These are the two important words over here, which we are going to discuss in this by giving little bit extra effort on this. Try to understand. Every democratic country, every country, whether they are the democratic or non-democratic, they can have their own constitution. In a non-democratic country, if they want, they can have. If they want, they do not have the constitution. But moment a term comes like the democracy, democracy means that they have a constitution. It may be in a written or unwritten form. But this is the one of the essential features of democracy. Constitution is required. So this is about the democracy. And in a simple manner, what is democracy? Democracy is the rule of the government by the elected representatives. We cannot say simply that the definition given by Abraham Lincoln of the people, for the people, and by the people. This way we cannot define democracy. Democracy means that the elected representatives are running the government. So this is the importance of constitution in a democracy. The constitution is very important for a country. It provides the framework to every government and upholds the rights and duties of every citizen. In our country, because this name of the chapter is only what it is mentioned over there, social justice means that the equal status to each and every citizens. So whatever the rights and duties are mentioned in the constitution, it gives the facility to each and every citizen of the country. Our constitution highlights the structure and organs of the government, which indicates the limits of the powers of the government. So this is the Indian Constitution. In our constitution, the entire structure, what will be the structure of the government? Like we can say that union government or central government, state government, then we have local self-government. Local self-government, they have the two different types. One is in the urban bodies, another is in the rural bodies. Urban, we have the municipalities and the municipal corporations, and in rural, we have the village panchayat system. So the entire structure is been highlighted in the constitution as well as the organs of the government. Just now in the previous slide, we have discussed the three organs of the government: legislature, executive, and judiciary. It also indicates, constitution also indicates the limits of the power of the government. Then constitution also has a system of checks and balances. This is very important term over here, which we are going to discuss now. Checks and balance. Just now we discussed about the three different organs of the government. Legislature, lawmaking body; executive executes the law made by the legislature. The third is very important, judiciary. Indian judicial system is completely different from any other country of the world. It is an independent body. It has not been controlled by any or the two organ of the government or any government, whichsoever it is ruling the country. It is not under the control of any of the government. It is an independent body. And the duty of this judiciary is to keep an eye on the working of the legislature and executive. Many places you can, or you may find out, or you may get the idea about that. It is also considered as it acts as a watchdog. So very minutely, it takes care about that, the functioning and the working of the government, and also prevents the misuse of powers vested in the government. Our constitution guarantees certain rights to protect the minorities and the minorities against the oppression by the majority. This is also very important for us. Our constitution, what it guarantees the right to protect. Fundamental rights and duties has been mentioned in the constitution. But what it says that the certain rights are also mentioned in the constitution to give the special privilege to the minorities so they cannot be oppressed by the majority. That provision is also been done. So to uplift the condition of the minority people in the country so they can also lead a dignified life. It also guarantees fundamental rights to the citizens in order to protect them against any injustice by the government. It comes about that the fundamental rights now. This is what type of the guarantee it is given? It gives the guarantees to the citizens about the protection of from the injustice. No, if any of the citizen in our country, if they feel like that their fundamental right has been violated, even by the government or by any of the individual, then they have the right, they can move to the court of law. So this is about that. It also guarantees fundamental rights to the citizens in order to protect them against any injustice by government. Then next it comes about that what are laws and why is there a need for them? What are laws? What is this? And what is the need? Why it is needed? What is the requirement of the law? A body of rules and guidelines which is usually enforced through a system which is called and this system is called the law. A body of rules and the guidelines which is usually enforced through a system and it is called law. In a simple way, you can just understand by quoting the example of your schooling. Not talking about the online, this pandemic. Think about that the offline. Moment you take admission in any of the schools, you have to follow the code of conduct. System of the school, which is known as the discipline also. Means that you have to reach in time. There is a time for reporting. There is a time for dispersal. You have to wear certain different types of uniform for the school. If you have the sports, you have to dress up in a different way. So these are what? These are the rules. These are the guidelines which you have to follow. And the entire this system, which is enforced through a system, is called law. Laws are essential to protect people. Why it is? This is coming to discuss about that need. So why the need is there? These laws are essential to protect the people, to solve conflicts and establish peace. This is the need and requirement of the law. So it is said that the law plays a vital role in the smooth functioning of society. What it is? Smooth functioning of society and establishment of peace and order. To maintain peace and harmony in the society, we need the laws. Major aspects or main ideas of the Indian Constitution. What are the major aspects of our Constitution? What are the main ideas of the Indian Constitution? Just now we have discussed in the previous slide, it is bulkiest and the lengthiest constitution of the world. To read the entire constitution is very difficult and not easy also to understand. So, we have a preamble as an introduction or introductory document. So, all the ideals of the constitution, the main features of the constitution is given in the introduction, which we are calling it preamble. So what is the preamble? Preamble is an introduction to the constitution and is non-justiciable. You cannot go to the court of law with any point of the which is described in the preamble. We cannot move to the court of law. So it is written over here, it is non-justiciable. You cannot get justice for that. You are not supposed to go to the court of law. It is only an introductory document which gives you idea about that. What are the basic features of our constitution? It contains the political philosophy, aims, objectives, and basic purpose of the constitution. What are the basic purpose of the constitution is mentioned over here. Now, try to understand the meaning of the words used in the constitution. So first of all, what it is written? We the people. Why it is written we the people? Because in the previous slide we discussed about that. Constitution was been framed or written by the Constituent Assembly. 299 members were there. And these members were indirectly elected by the people. So both the way, involvement of the people were there in the constitution making. They involve also that in that the constitution making process, as well as it is written also for the welfare of the people. So this preamble begins only with that, we the people of India. If you learn it in a rhyming way, it is very easy. We the people of India solemnly resolve to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. And it's not difficult to learn also. 3S followed by DR. Sovereign, socialist, secular. 3S. 3 times S has been used. And followed by DR, democratic republic. So try to learn it in a rhyming way and you may find it very interesting. And once you learn, you may remember forever. So we the people of India imply that our constitution had been prepared and given authority by the representatives of the people. Authority is given to whom? Representatives. And who are the representatives? They are elected by the people. So we are giving them the authority to rule over the country. So our constitution had been prepared and given authority by the representatives of the people. After this, just now I told you 3S is there, sovereign, socialist, secular. So first of all, coming to discuss about sovereign. India is a sovereign country. This is a term which is used in our constitution, which means that our country is now independent and has the right to take its own decision in internal and external matters. This is the meaning of sovereignty. Sovereignty means that we, our country, India, we are free to take our own decision. Internal and external matters, we are free to do so. No any foreign country can interfere in our matters, whether it is the internal matter of our country or the external matter of our country. Next, it comes about socialist. Socialist means India's constitution upholds the ideal of socialism. This is the socialism, which seeks to give everyone equal opportunities to use the country's resources without any discrimination. The society, the citizens of the country, they are free to get the equal opportunity, to avail the equal opportunities if suppose they wanted to use the country's resources. So this also our constitution also fulfills the criteria of socialism. Next, it comes about secular. Secular means India is a secular country, means that the related to the religion. We do not have any state religion. State means national religion. We do not have any national religion. No any religion is considered more important than others. As a citizen, we have the freedom to practice and preach any religion of their choice. Being a citizen of India, we are free to practice any religion. There is no state religion. We do not have any national religion. Our constitution gives the equal status to each and every religion. Most of the religions of the world is followed in our country. Right from Hinduism, then Islam, we have Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, Zoroastrianism, Christianity. Other than also maybe there are more religions which is followed by the people, but these are the 7 most important religions of the world which all are practiced in our country. And if we talk about that, the 4 religions which are actually founded on the land of India. Sikhism, after the partition, we can say so that the Guru Nanak Dev, who was the founder of the Sikhism, now that territory went with the Pakistan, but earlier it was the part of the United India. But then also Hinduism, Buddhism and Jainism, these 3 religions were founded on this land. And our constitution makers, they have taken care about all such things, not to hurt the sentiment of any of the religious group, given the equal status to all religion. Next, it is democratic. India is a democratic country. It is the people who govern the country through the representatives we elect. Our country, our government, directly or indirectly, we are involved in that, the running of the government, working of the government. Because through the representatives, government is formed, and this is the basic concept of democracy, and our country also fulfills this criteria. Then it comes about republic. Republic means that the state is headed by an elected representative. What it says? Elected representatives, not by a hereditary ruler. India is a republic because our president is also indirectly elected by the members of the parliament. Members of the parliament here means that both Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. They are known as the MPs. And the state legislature, all the MLAs. They participate in the election process of the president, and the term of the president is also been fixed for 5 years. So this is the provision done in the constitution, and this is the meaning of the republic. We do not have any hereditary ruler. All these the rulers, they are directly or indirectly elected by the people for a fixed period of 5 years. Next, it is about the justice. The framers of our constitution wanted to build a society in which everyone gets justice. It specifies social, economic and political equality for all citizens of India. Social, economic and political equality means that in society also no one can discriminate on the basis of the caste, religion, caste. No one can be discriminated. Everyone has the equal status, and by their choice they wanted, if the people they want to live in this here or there, they can do so. They can move. Economic also means that on the basis of the occupation and profession, there is no any fixation. As per their choice, they can do so. But the most important part, it comes the political equality, which comes under the right to vote. For all the citizens of India. Every citizen, they are politically equal, having equal status. Political right has been given to each and every citizen of the country whosoever is crossed the 18 years of their age. 18 years and above, they have got this political right. And weightage of their vote is the same. One vote, one value. Next, it is liberty. The preamble provides for liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship to the citizens. People are free to express themselves and choose their own professions. Here it is, liberty means what? This is also considered as freedom. And the preamble also provides for liberty of thought. Anyone, this is up to us. Our thinking is there. We can express our ideas, our views. Faith and belief is also, as per our choice, we can worship any of the god and goddesses. This way we are having the equal status. And we are free also to express ourselves and choose our own profession. Not like that, the history, where the occupation was also been fixed. The people belonging from the Vaishyas community, they were supposed to be the traders and the merchants. But with this, the implementation of the constitution, all these barriers have been removed. Now the people, they are free, they can choose their own profession. Equality, the most important thing of our constitution. This is the most important aspect of our constitution. In India, all citizens are equal before the law. For the same crime, same punishment is there. Whether he or she is the prime minister or he or she is a sweeper. Any form of discrimination is illegal and punishable by law. If anyone tries to discriminate the people, it is a punishable offense. Fraternity, which means brotherhood. Our constitution seeks to promote brotherhood by establishing a secular state, means giving the equal status and respect to all the citizens, making everyone equal before the law, and prohibits any discrimination on grounds of caste, language, wealth, etc. So this way, the concept of fraternity has been included in the constitution. Before to start this salt satyagraha of 1930, come to discuss about that, the laws and dissent. What is the importance? Why this salt satyagraha has been launched by Mahatma Gandhi before independence? Another example also we will discuss about the anti-liquor movement started by women organization in Andhra Pradesh. So laws, this chapter is only based on that, the constitution, the law. Constitution means the book of laws. So what these laws are formulated for the welfare of the people. So this is the very important thing which we must have to understand about that. What are laws? These are laws are actually made. The formulation of the laws are done for the welfare of the people. However, sometimes a certain law may not be in the larger interest of the people. It cannot means for the welfare of the entire country, maybe for a specific group of the people. People have the right to raise their protest against such a law. If suppose government passes certain laws which is not welfare for the entire country, for the entire citizens, in that case, in that circumstances, the people, they have the right to raise their voice against the government's decision. The people may use how they can have to raise the voice, how we have to raise our voice with the help of media, protest rallies and marches to raise our voices. The government, after analysis, may withdraw the controversial law. So here two examples are quoted. One is about the salt satyagraha before independence organized by Mahatma Gandhi. After that we will come to anti-liquor. So this is what it says, that in 1930, Gandhiji has started this movement or this march against the salt tax, which was imposed by the British government upon Indians. What Gandhiji did? On 12th March 1930, Gandhiji, along with his 78 trusted volunteers, he left Sabarmati Ashram, which is in Gujarat, nearby Ahmedabad, and walked till Dandi, a coastal town in Gujarat. When he reached, it was already 6th of April 1930, and what he did? Ceremonially, he violated this salt law by manufacturing salt by boiling sea water. Dandi March marked the beginning of the civil disobedience movement. Against the voice raised by Gandhiji along with his volunteers against the law which was not accepted by the Indians, which was imposed by British. Next, coming to anti-liquor movement. This movement was led by women in Andhra Pradesh. This is post-independence. 1930 salt satyagraha was pre-independence. This is in the post-independence India witnessed an anti-liquor movement led by the women in Andhra Pradesh. They organized a large-scale protest against the rising number of liquor shops. And who they have? The licensed liquor shops. The licensed liquor shops, they have opened unauthorized counters to increase their sale. So people had easy access to liquor. What was the motive behind it? Why they have increased the number of liquor shops? To increase their sale. So the people, they have the easy access to liquor. This resulted in many poor people wasting their money on liquor. So the women, they have decided to protest against the ban on liquor. This is the protest against that, the sale of liquor. They launched an anti-liquor movement. This is now the anti-liquor movement was launched by women. Ban on liquor was not easy for government also, because it was an important source of revenue for the government. However, after much protest, many a times protest was organized by women, and finally the government has imposed ban on liquor. So this is the importance of law and dissent. So laws are proved instrumental in bringing about social reforms. This is the social reforms. Although government was in the laws, but then also ban on liquor was imposed. Social awareness. This is the very important point. Awareness is needed to change the mindset of the people. So many a times now also awareness program has been organized by the government with their different organizations. Why it is? It is needed, it is the requirement to change the mindset of the people. Indian Constitution laid emphasis on main ideals, which is sovereignty, socialism, secularism, democracy, liberty, equality, fraternity, and integrity, which has been translated into different laws. These ideals has been translated into fundamental rights. Just now we are coming to discuss about the fundamental rights and how these rights, the ideals of the constitution that reflects in the fundamental rights, as well as the fundamental duties and the different laws which have enabled the marginalized communities like the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and other backward classes to realize and avail their rights. So all these ideals which has been translated into the fundamental rights and the fundamental duties and the different laws which have enabled the marginalized community. Marginalized community means that who they are, their population is less, or long back in the history they have been disintegrate. They have been disappointed. They have not been given chance to mingle with the higher class people in the mainstream of the society. So they have been considered as a marginalized. So if suppose we consider this part is the mainstream of the society, then this is the marginalized. The facilities which is availed by the entire society, they were deprived. So this is all about that. So our constitution, how they have given the facilities to uplift the condition of scheduled castes, scheduled tribes and other backward classes.